Hello and welcome to this episode of Hampton Roads Business Live. My name is Rory Graham and I'm your host, and today we have the pleasure of having with us Tina Hawkins from the Financial Education Services Company. It's very nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And if there's one thing nowadays with everything going on people need, it's financial education.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of people having a lot of problems. So, and that's what you help people with.
Yes.
So give us an overview of what your company does to begin with, and then we'll go in a little more in depth in it.
Basically, a day-to-day, or what I normally do with my clients, is educating them first on the importance of having excellent credit. Also educating them on tips and strategies that they can do themselves to improve their credit. Also educating them on dealing with collections agencies, just letting them know their rights as a consumer.
Mm-hmm. So one of those tips for collection agencies is it like you slam the receiver down 3 times and then
Well, that's
tell them, no, it's not on my end.
until we learn differently. That's what we do. But once we learn, once we learn what our rights are and what as being a consumer, once we learn the ins and outs and learn what we can and cannot do, it makes it a lot bit more easier. Then you don't avoid the phone calls. You actually answer the phone calls.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about the credit score. Credit score, it's measured or monitored by 3 primary companies?
Correct.
Okay. And that is a score that is really important. Tell people why that's important, in case they don't know.
That credit score is very important now more than ever. I always say it's used like a vital sign. It's monitored all the time. Now you have so many when you're applying for jobs, that's one of the specifications or qualifications that a person has to have a certain credit score. They judge you by your credit before they'll actually evaluate you or look at you as a job prospect. So in that sense, and of course for purchasing a home, automobiles, insurance now, you go to apply for insurance, they're checking your credit before they're giving you a premium. So your credit is pretty much being utilized and
the
judged.
worse your credit, the worse the deal is that you get.
Definitely.
Okay,
the higher interest rate or the higher the premium will be if that credit score is not in a window or in a range that can be, that can honor you or give you the lowest interest rate that you can get.
I know that there's a lot of people that ran into problems when the economy tanked in 2008.
Yes.
And they may have had a great credit score, but then it just dropped like a rock because of, the real estate market, went and one thing after another. So that could cause you to have all kinds of problems where you never had any before. Another part of your business is helping people restore their credit.
Yes.
So talk about that a little bit.
Well, with the restoration process, I'm happy to say that we've had we've had a large group of people that we've been able to help. It goes from individual to partnering with corporate entities such as real estate agents, brokers, bank loan officers, automobile industry. That's a corporate base that we help them as well with servicing their clients that have challenged credit. A normal process for an individual going through our service, they would basically sign up for the service. The service is $499. That service is for 1 year or 5 dispute cycles, whichever comes first, and the company offers a money-back guarantee. Also, with that being said, once a person signs up for the service, they'd be required to submit 2 forms of identification, and then from there the company would develop dispute letters for any derogatory information that's on their credit with all 3 major credit agencies.
So these are things that are on the credit report that don't belong on there?
There could be things that are incorrectly placed on their credit report because the credit agencies, they pay fines every year for reporting inaccurate, erroneous information on our credit. And with that being said, that's what we do. We develop dispute letters, anything that's in collections, bankruptcy, foreclosure, short sales, anything of that nature that's negative on your credit, we basically dispute it under the guidelines and laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And we go through 5 cycles. So if you get one cycle with going through that, we actually develop the dispute letters, mail them out to the customer. They sign those, mail those out to each respective credit bureau. And the credit bureaus, they have 30 days to respond. If asking for an extension, 45 days, but they will respond. They will respond with an updated credit report, letting that consumer know whether that credit was updated to a positive, to positively affect that person's credit, or something was deleted off of that person's credit, or it stayed the same. Nevertheless, once they received that updated credit report, they would mail that in to the company, United Credit Education Services, which actually handles the credit restoration process for our clients. Once that's done, we start that cycle over again. Whatever hasn't been removed or deleted or updated in a positive way to affect that person's credit, we go through another round of dispute cycles, and we have service clients that have utilized our service and have recommended us to many because of the great job that we do, and our staff has over 25 years of experience in dealing with this and within the credit industry.
Okay, all right, so we went through how someone does this with you. I guess everybody is different, so when we say, well, what could people expect? What is the typical experience that they have? Are you able to help them?
99 times out of 10, we're able to help those clients. We're able to help. We help some people don't need a lot of increase in their credit score. They may be 40, 50 points away from being within that credit score range where that real estate agent or that loan officer is able to service them into putting them into the home that they want. That auto dealer is able to, that lender is able to finance them. So all the time, sometimes in most occasions, you may have some that have to work their way up a little more than others, but we've been able to help many. And of course, there is the chance that we can't help them because we can't do anything that's not within the guidelines of the law and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. That's where our money back guarantee comes in. After a client has used the service for 6 months and they're not satisfied, or say for instance we weren't able to help them, they can request their money back. The company offers a money back guarantee.
Okay, well that's
Yes.
a good thing to have.
Yes, very.
All right, so what if someone has a low credit score, or let's say a low credit score, and they want to improve the credit? Is the only way to improve credit is to purchase something and pay it off, and purchase something else and pay it off? Is that the only way to do it?
No, that's actually a good way of developing a payment history, but you want to, getting something and paying it off immediately, that's not developing a payment history for you. A lot of people think that if they get it, they pay it off. Oh, that's great. A lot of people will close out credit card accounts not having anything and just paying cash for everything. That's a no-no. You have to have that good credit reporting. You have to have that going along with anything that you have on your credit that's bad to offset that. Because if you go in and get credit restoration and get all the bad stuff off and don't have any good stuff on there, your score is going to go down. So it's kind of like a Doppler effect. So some tips that I normally give my clients is, if you haven't already, open a checking and savings account with a banking institution. This gets you into the financial, should I say, the financial era or financial industry. This gets you in there as being reported in that sense. Also, with having, if you don't have any credit, applying for gas cards, secured credit cards through banks. That would be basically where you would have a savings account. You put in $300 to $500, have that in the savings account, and then that amount of money for that premium or that payment per month would be taken out of that account, and then every 30 days they would report, and that would develop a good payment history for you as well.
Okay. All right, and it will save you from having the interest.
Exactly.
Okay, right. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that sounds very interesting. I'm sure during this challenging financial times that a lot of people find themselves in, I'm sure you're very busy.
Yes, business has been good.
Well, I think I said on the phone, you and Budweiser, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, is there anything that we didn't touch on that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I would like to let everyone know that we do have a special going
okay.
on now to the end of the month, where you can call in, and if you give this particular advertisement or information about this particular interview, they'll get $100 off of the $499 service.
Oh, wow, cool.
And they do have the option of doing a split pay as well.
Okay, all right, well, you can't beat that. So, you've seen the interview, and now you can take advantage of it and get $100 off. Just mention this
Right.
interview when you call. Tina's information is her website and phone and all is at the end of this video, and it's also on the bottom of this page. So if you are have credit score that you'd like to get boosted a bit, or help cleaning up the credit reports, or have them even looked at to see what's on there, then give her a call, and I'm sure she could help you out.
Definitely.
All right, well, thank you very much for
Thank
coming
you.
in, and we wish you a great deal of success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.